Small arms are the single most deadly form of weaponry on the planet. 9 out of every 10 civilians killed in unnatural causes each year will be killed by small arms. This results in over 500,000 civilian deaths each and every year. In 1 year alone, more people have died by these guns than the amount of people killed in the atomic bombings of Nagasaki and Hiroshima combined. Although we hear the term small arms frequently on television and in the media, many people do not fully understand what this entails. Though the definition can be somewhat broad, the basic list of small arms include handguns, machine and submachine guns, mortars, landmines, grenades, and light missiles. So where do these weapons come from? Well, there are over 1,100 companies worldwide, spread out over 98 countries, that produce either firearms or ammunition for firearms. The 6 major players, in order of the highest amount of exportation of arms, are the United States, Russia, Germany, China, the UK, and France. Altogether globally, around $25 billion a year is estimated to be spent in the purchasing of these weapons through legal channels. So where do the $25 billion plus worth of firearms produced each year go to? Well, 80% of these weapons make it to civilian hands. It is estimated that in both the legal and illegal market, there is over 600 million guns produced each year. Only 60% of these guns will be owned legally. $25 billion worth of small arms and ammunition may seem like a lot, but these numbers don't even take account the estimated $10 billion worth of ammunition and firearms that are produced illegally each year. The unregulated arms can easily go from one side of the globe to the other without any regulation whatsoever. So where exactly do these illicit arms come from? Many are made legally, then through factory leakage and theft end up being sold illegally. This at least makes up where the bulk of domestic illicit arms go in the United States. Abroad, weapons are traded over from conflict to conflict. Being used to kill one tribe on one side of the continent, an AK-47 may find himself in the hands of another person on another side of the continent doing exactly the same thing. Besides the simple fact that there are an overwhelming amount of small arms in circulation, there are other factors that make these weapons so incredibly dangerous. These weapons last, meaning that even the oldest, rustiest Soviet-era AK-47 can still be just as an effective killing weapon as a brand new Army-issued M4. These weapons require very little maintenance to be kept in working order, so many small arms stay in circulation for decades. They are also easy to conceal and transport, which plays into the illicit trade of these arms. However, the one factor that makes small arms so incredibly dangerous is the ease at which these weapons can be operated. Unlike flying a jet or driving a tank, small arms can be operated without any prior education or training. So the simplicity of these weapons is that over 300,000 children globally have been made into child soldiers. Children, sometimes with little or no understanding as to the ideology behind the violence they are forced to commit, can easily be turned into the perfect medium for death and destruction by these small arms. Besides giving tyrannical dictators the tools to turn innocent youth into a fighting force, there are many other negative effects in the illicit small arms trade. Usually, in places where child soldiers are being employed, there is active genocide being done with these small arms. Violent acts against innocent people are being done with these weapons regularly through the continent of Africa. In South Africa alone, it is estimated that there are over 500,000 illegally held firearms. This is not even including the more unstable regions of the continent. In those areas, it would be impossible to estimate the amount of illicit small arms. These illicit guns give power to whoever holds the most weaponry, allowing violent and in many cases completely insane men to take over control. In Africa, these men are known as the warlords. Genocide, rape, and cannibalism are their means of terror, a terror which is enforced by small arms. If such atrocities are occurring as the result of small arms, then what is being done to halt the terror? There are many agencies that have been formed, both governmental and non-governmental, to prevent this gun violence. These groups work hard in many places across the globe in order to confiscate and destroy as many illicit weapons as possible. The fact is that for every 12 people on the planet, there's a gun. Guns are difficult to regulate, track, and even make official record of. The UN and private NGOs work hard to eliminate illicit guns, but there are so many weapons in so many different regions of the planet, it would be almost impossible to eradicate all the illegal arms being implemented. Obviously, the issues with the global arms trade are not going away overnight, but one thing is for sure, as long as illicit arms are being bought and sold, innocent people will be losing their lives.